Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Taurus for the month of October. Now do keep in mind, this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go ahead and get a shuffle in here for you, Taurus. Now I'm using a lot of decks in this reading. I'm using the Gilded Tarot, the Rider-Waite Tarot, the Prism Oracle deck, as well as the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. Do hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you. I would ask that you hit the like button and subscribe, especially if you watch my content regularly. It really helps the channel grow. All right. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. We'll go ahead and take three of these Oracle cards and 1, 2, 3 of these cards here as well. Okay. Cool. Energy on the bottom. You have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles, this could simply be referring to you here, showing up Taurus on the bottom of the deck, but for some of you here, you are taking a careful consideration. You're taking careful consideration into kind of some type of path that you're looking to go down in this month with the Queen of Pentacles and also the Two of Wands, which I'm going to expand on. But this, you know, the Queen of Pentacles person, they don't do things typically like if you're just looking at this card on its face value. They don't do things without having a plan in place. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is very intentional, very deliberate in their actions and in their movements. And, you know, this is somebody who's conscientious, somebody who likes to prepare, plan, all of these sorts of things. And this is really syncing well with this idea of the Two of Wands here in the middle. So this middle card is important because it spills into the rest of the cards. It informs the rest of the reading. And to get the Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Wands here as the first kind of two cards in this reading, to me suggests that you are taking careful consideration into a path that you are looking to go down. Now, if I'm looking here on the board, for some of you this might be love. And, you know, it's not clear though. You know, I always try to bring in messages for everybody, but you know, you do have the Lover's card, you have the Fool, you have the Empress. What I can say is that you are ready to leap towards something new, but right now, what could be going on is you're kind of at the fork, okay? You're at the fork in the road, and you're really kind of planning, preparing, deciding on which is the best way to go. This can talk about, I've seen this in other decks or in the definition of this card is sort of being the waiting game, meaning like it's not time to set sail yet. You will be setting sail here in the future with the Six of Swords, but you're preparing the ship, right, to set sail at some point. You could be setting sail here at the end of the month, but you're getting all the ducks in a row and you're making sure that everything's set up and ready to go for you. So this looks exciting, but let's go ahead and let's get some more messages here. So at the beginning of the month, you have the Fool, the Ten of Swords, and you have the Lover's card, okay? So the Fool is all about a powerful new beginning, leaping forward in a new direction, not necessarily knowing where you're going yet, but knowing you're going somewhere. This is you connecting with your child self. This is you connecting with something potentially that you've always wanted or that you've always wanted to do in your life. And this is freedom, right? If you think about the child, which is the brand new to this world, there's a lot of freedom in connecting with your child self, because for the child there is no before and there's no future, right? There just is. I mean, obviously there's a future for the child, but they don't care about that, right? The child cares about what is right in front of them, and that is the idea of the Fool. Fool says, enjoy what you have here, enjoy what you have now, and know that you are about to start something incredible. For me, the Fool is the most powerful card in the tarot because it starts off everything. It starts off everything in the tarot, and it says that you're ready to leap forward here. So you love to see it. You know, as you have this Two of Wands, this might be like right now I think some of you are really, really ready to leap forward. And I think that you're kind of just, at the same time, making sure that you have everything together before you take the leap, before you jump off the cliff and see where you go. And so I think that's a very smart thing to do. Now, what's interesting here is you have the Lovers card as well showing up. So the Lovers represent some type of important choice that you have to make in life or in love. It can be, at least. There are a couple things with the Lovers card, but one of the meanings is that it can be an important choice that you have to make in life and love, especially when you have it here paired with the Two of Wands. So again, Two of Wands, choices, decisions, options, maybe even the waiting game, right? Being at the fork in the road. The Lovers, it's like we're throwing gas on the fire here, because the Lover says that this choice, this path that you need to go down, this is a big choice for you. And this choice that you have to make could really carry you into the future. Like it could really, you could really spend a whole lot of time going down this path. When you finally choose the path that you want to go down, you could be on that path for some time. It's important. And so for some of you, this might be something connected to marriage, right? That's an important choice, right? For some of you, this might be connected to a career transition, although I think it's maybe more about money. So it could be something big like maybe buying or selling a home, or it could be something big like something else that maybe going back to school. You know, there's definitely a lot of money involved in that. But you do have this Ten of Swords here. Ten of Swords does suggest an ending or a completion in one's life. But it does say that the worst is behind you. And what the Ten of Swords can suggest is that there are new beginnings in the future, right? And so you won't be in that Ten of Swords energy forever. It is an ending. It is maybe a challenging ending, but it also allows you to sort of recognize that there is new hope on the horizon for you. In the middle of the month, you have the Sun, the Two of Wands, and you also have the Justice card here showing up. So to me, it suggests that like maybe some of you, this lower row is particularly interesting for me because you have the Lovers, the Justice card, and the Empress. So the Justice card, you know, this can talk about like, obviously, again, this idea of weighing options is showing up here. You can see the scale symbolism on the card. Weighing options, weighing decisions, weighing choices. With the Two of Wands, the Lovers, and the Justice card, that's a lot of like kind of balancing out, going back and forth, seeing what's there type of situation. And especially with the Queen of Pentacles, again, somebody who's going to take a very thoughtful, conscientious, practical approach to something. But on the other end here, this lower row is interesting because the Justice card can indicate legal situations or legalities. And, you know, with this Justice energy, you know, this could be marriage because, you know, marriage is a legal contract, and, you know, you have the Lovers card. The Empress is the mother archetype. And so, you know, some of you, it's like you want to get married, you want to start a family, you know, do these sorts of things. And so these are some of the big choices that you're maybe like considering in love. Like, I definitely don't think that you are here for something short term. You are definitely looking at this from a longer view. Based on this reading. Now, you do have the Sun card, which for me is the best card to find in the tarot. You actually have next to each other the most powerful card from my perspective and the best card, the best omen to find in the tarot, which is the Sun. So the Fool brings the power of a new beginning, and the Sun brings happiness, positivity, bright energy, success. And when you get this together, this is like you being on the right path from my perspective. And so while the paths may be in front of you, and while you may not be walking down the path right now, the good news is you are on the right path. And I think that you're getting yourself in the right direction, or you're steering yourself towards the right direction at this time. I think that because of whatever this choice is, there's like some gravity You can see that there's gravity on the sun card. Obviously, the planets revolve around the sun. There's like gravity around this choice. And I think it's because you care. I think it's because you care, truly. And that's why it feels like this choice is so big. Towards the end of the month, you have the Six of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles, and you have the Empress. So the Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles, the Six of Swords represents a transition in one's life. Okay, this is about going through a rite of passage. This is about going to new places, sailing on calmer timelines, sailing on calmer waters. And, you know, it's the idea of you being ready to let the pain of the past behind you and instead welcome in or usher in happy energy or new energy, especially as the sun is next to it. And so for you, I feel like this path, this choice, this decision that you want to start walking down is so big, and it feels so big. And I also think that some of you here, you know, with the Six of Pentacles, this really is about giving and receiving. You know, you can also see the scales here in the Six of Pentacles, right? You see the scales here, you see the scales on the Justice card, the idea of going back and forth with the Two of Wands, important choice. I think that you are heavily weighing the options, but you're also heavily weighing the finances that go along with this choice. Like the practicality of walking down each road or walking down each path. Here, as you have this Queen of Pentacles, right? And figuring out the practicality of all of this. The Empress is, again, actually, the Empress is all about, it is the mother archetype, as I've said before, but it's also major energy of abundance, okay? It is Venus energy, and, you know, this could be, the Empress is all about many, right? It can represent the luxuries or the finer things in life, but also many in other words, abundance, right? Abundance can be associated with many. And so it's like, for you, there are a lot of choices, and I think some of you have the luxury of choice at this time. I also think that there could be, you know, there's a Gemini or a Libra here for some of you at this time as well. If you're here for love, that might be the energies that they have, or they could have those qualities about them. Could also be an earth sign, but this could also just be referring to you. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at these oracle cards here. All right, so you have space, ideation, and passion. So space is like this idea that you have an open canvas, right? You have a blank canvas. There are so many things that you could fill this space with. And I think the fact that this is showing up with ideation is very interesting because, you know, ideation is important. Like personally, I give myself 1 or 2 ideation days a month, sometimes even more, where I think about what's next for me. I generate ideas, obviously, that's what ideation is. I think about where I want to take the channel, what I want to do next, all of these sorts of things. And, you know, for you, I think that you're filling this space here with, you know, what options do these paths provide me? You also have this passion card, which always a good idea to lead from passion, but there's something about this ideation card that I think is coming in for you, and that could be very important for you. You have pathway, main male, and distant horizons. So pathways are true north, okay? It's what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. What have we been talking about this whole time? Path. I've been saying path this entire reading. And, you know, for some of you, it's like, do you walk down this path with another person? They could be any gender. I don't attach gender in my cards. This could just be somebody who is a main character in your life, okay? And, you know, this could take some time. Distant Horizons card is like 3 to 6 months, but this also says that there are good times ahead. I truly feel like some of you are on the right path here, and I think that you being conscientious of this road is very smart, because it's almost like you will be walking on this path for some time, is what I feel like saying. And so it's a very smart idea for you to be conscientious and practical with your first step. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is coming in the tarot, but I really do appreciate you being here. Thank you for spending your time with me. Please do hit that like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. So you have the Fool clarifying itself, you have the Hierophant, and you have the Page of Cups. Okay, so the Hierophant is you. I was looking for you. So the Hierophant is you. That's the Taurus card, okay? But what's interesting is the Fool. That's extremely powerful. To get the Fool twice together doesn't happen very much, right? The universe is like, I'm not playing around, okay? You are going somewhere new. You can see they're about to leap off the cliff, not knowing where they're going to go or how they're going to get there. And this is, I think, the fact that you have the Hierophant below it. You recognize that there's a chapter closing out for you here, Taurus, with the Ten of Swords and the Hierophant. Ten of Swords can say that there's a cycle closing out or a chapter closing out, and you are right there. This is a card of marriage. I did say that some of you are maybe thinking about marriage as well with somebody. The Page of Cups is obviously like a romantic invitation or some sort of romantic situation in your life, especially as it is connected here with the Lovers card. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what else we get here. So you have the Three of Wands, you have the Five of Wands, and you have the Moon card. Okay, so Three of Wands, I like to see this for you because we've been talking about this Two of Wands the entire time. So the Two of Wands, the idea is that the Two of Wands, you do the planning, preparing, discovery with the Two of Wands in order to get to the Three of Wands, which you can see that this person is now armed with knowledge. They have an extra wand, right? They now have 3 wands instead of 2. And they are ready to go on this adventure that they have been spending a lot of time preparing for. This is about getting excited. This is about getting fired up, going to the next, taking something to the next level, moving forward with something. The Five of Wands is all about conflict, and this is, I think, for you is about an internal conflict, because again, you're like standing at this fork in the road. You see the paths in front of you, and you really are maybe afraid of choosing the wrong path, okay? You're afraid of choosing the wrong path. And just know that I feel like trust is a very important message for you as well, which is like, as long as you're doing everything you need to be doing to prepare, trust that it will work out. Trust that you will move right down the right path for you. The Moon, you know, this can say that maybe there's clarity needed, or there's something that maybe feels a little bit off. So again, I feel like making sure that you're doing everything you need to do in your life is very important before you kind of set foot on this new path. You have the Four of Wands, you have the King of Swords, and you also here have the King of Wands showing up. So the Four of Wands is all about, it's the other marriage card. So you do have, there is something about marriage here. Showing up. You know, I think that this might be Libra, Aries, Gemini energy. Something like that might be coming in. Libra, Aries, Gemini could be showing up here. But just remember that they could have that at any part in their natal chart. They might not, that might not be their sun sign. What's exciting is that there is this King of Wands, which is really passion energy. So you have this message of passions showing up pretty heavily here with all the wands, and this idea of really being excited. You also have 2, 3, 4, 5 of wands. 2, 3, 4, 5 of wands. And so to me, that suggests that you are really making progress on deciding on this path and going down this path. Yeah, and then you also have this Knight of Wands, maybe even Sagittarius energy here. Knight of Wands says maybe some of you are moving, you know. Knight of Wands can be a big card of like moving to a new location, relocating, things like that. So it's also a card of spontaneity and passion and excitement. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. I really appreciate you. I'll see you in the next reading.